Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best cameras for wedding photography.
Starting at number 5.
Panasonic Lumix S5. In the past, I've found it hard to recommend Panasonic's Lumix lineup to wedding photographers because of its focusing abilities. However, the addition of phase detection autofocus brings the S5 II right in line with some of the best hybrid cameras money can buy. It's becoming increasingly common for wedding photographers to shoot both stills and video simultaneously. If that's you, the S5 II has you covered for a very reasonable price. In our review, we loved the S5 II's tough and compact frame, 5-axis in-body image stabilization, and excellent color science. You get 2 SD UHS 2 card slots, although there's no CF Express slot to handle the highest resolution video recording, 6K with a full sensor readout at 29.97, 25, 24 or 23.98p. Its active image stabilization utilizes the power of an entirely new image processor, and deploys algorithms that can detect and anticipate camera motion. It becomes particularly effective when you're moving for run-and-gun footage, then. The S5 II is a video specialist, and almost all of its extensive recordable video formats can be captured with a maximum of 10-bit color, including 4:2:2 10-bit C4K/4K 60p video, without any video recording limits. If you're already a
Coming at number 4.
Sony A7 IV. I loved and used the Sony A7 III for years, but impossibly, I love the Sony A7 IV even more. I'd recommend it wholeheartedly to wedding pros who don't want to spend quite as much as a flagship camera like the Canon EOS R5, but need an all-rounder to go between video and stills. Our reviewer found the A7 IV to be a powerful hybrid model. Stills photographers can revel in its 33MP resolution and incredible burst mode, while videographers get a camera that leaves the previous A7 III far behind. The A7 IV has state-of-the-art autofocus, a massive buffer depth, and dual card slots, as you'd expect. Image quality is excellent and visibly better than the 20-24MP rival cameras in this price bracket, and Sony has possibly the biggest range of third-party and own brand lenses to choose from.
At number 3.
Nikon Z5. Nikon's entry-level full-frame mirrorless camera is incredible value if you're shooting weddings on a budget. Limitations come with its price, such as a maximum continuous shooting speed of 4.5 frames per second, but this should be enough for most wedding scenarios. It has a 24.3MP CMOS sensor that not only captures beautiful, color-accurate photos, but it can also shoot 4K video, all with that full-frame fidelity and cinematic depth of field. The Z5, unlike other full-frame Z cameras, doesn't have a top display panel, and its position is taken up by the camera's mode dial. Being smaller physically, it lacks the array of buttons that the Nikon D850 has for changing settings without having to delve into menus. Otherwise, it handles very well, and I'm pleased that the Z5 has dual UHS 2 slots so your images can be safely backed up on the second in case of a card failure. The 273-point hybrid autofocus system is also fast and accurate, and autofocus makes sure your wedding portraits and walks down the aisle are always in focus. It's lightweight, while weather sealing is important for weddings that take place outside in rainy weather. If you're coming from a Nikon DSLR, the Z5 is a great choice since the Nikon FTZ adapter means you can use your existing, and cheaper, Nikon F mount lenses.
Number 2 of my list.
Fujifilm X-S20. If you're shooting your first few weddings or working as a second shooter for an established professional, the X-S20 is a great entry-level option. In our review, we praised its straightforward controls, excellent fully automatic modes, and its small and compact size. Of course, I wouldn't recommend the X-S20 if it couldn't handle the demands of a wedding. It builds on the success of the XS10, with the same 26MP resolution but a processor and battery from Fujifilm's flagship Fujifilm X-T5 and Fujifilm X-H2. The result is a compact camera with phenomenally fast subject recognition and tracking. Another standout feature for weddings is the XS20's enhanced battery, which Fujifilm claims can capture 800 frames on a single charge. Wedding pros always have plenty of spare batteries, but it's nice to know that you'll be swapping out the battery less often throughout the day. The 5-axis in-body image stabilization, up to 7 stops with compatible lenses, is on par with most of the options in this guide, and it gives you more leeway against camera shake in low light. Despite the bigger battery, the XS20 is lightweight at just 491 g, and one of the most compact in this guide, yet there's still a comfortable hand grip and sensible button layout. The APS-C sensor and single memory slot might be a deal breaker for you. But if you're happy to live with just one SD card, the XS20 is the ideal budget camera for wedding photography, along with Fujifilm's huge range of X-mount lenses.
And number 1.
Canon EOS R5. In many ways, the Canon EOS R5 is the ultimate camera for professionals, and it is particularly potent for weddings. Its 45MP sensor produces stunning stills, and if you want more pixels you can also take advantage of its 400MP photo mode for still life subjects. The 8K video famously has recording limits, but work within them and you'll achieve glorious footage with the option to extract crisp 35MP still images. The industry-leading AF system is simply the best I've ever used on a camera, and I've used the EOS R5 for at least 5 weddings. It's clever enough to track eyes even if they are obscured, which is a lot at weddings with friends and family jostling to capture the happy couple. And it locks onto faces in extremely low light, for example during the first dance. Setting the R5's continuous burst to the maximum 12 frames per second, 20 frames per second with electronic shutter, is ideal for one-time shots like walking down the aisle. There's also the hugely impressive in-body image stabilization system that can compensate for up to 8 stops when paired with an optically stabilized RF lens. The Canon EOS R5 is expensive, yes, as are the best Canon RF lenses, but it's never let me down.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.